Hi guys, Mookduke here, and I think it's finally time I admit it. Mordhau is Joker. A new Patchie just dropped, and well, it's clear that the devs, or at least the ones that are still left, have seemed to have not listened to the player base once again, because they've added new Demon Horde map.
Is that all you've got?
I think the weirdest part about this update is how they decided to drop it on the Wednesday after Halloween, when the main focus is obviously on the Demon Horde mode and adding new maps for it. I personally think it would have made more sense to drop this along with a free weekend from Halloween to perhaps try and get some new players to join the grind. Now, it's not like I don't enjoy Demon Horde, but the game is already hemorrhaging players, so with limited resources, I can't understand why they would sink time into making more Horde maps that most players, you know, the ones keeping the game alive, play once and never think about again as they go back to the same PvP maps over and over. But hey, at least Classic Horde is finally back in rotation. That said, I'll give credit where it's due. The new maps are actually pretty fun with new variations on Contraband, Tiger, Grad and Vitoria. I haven't had the chance to play through all of them in their entirety, but at least on Contra, it was nice to see some funny new objectives like kicking this drunken captain around, and cool new bosses like the ghostly Dutchman who sports a melee weapon as well as a flintlock for range damage. The rest of the maps also have some sick looking redesigns that I wish could be ported over to regular modes for limited time events, maybe even including PvP with the PvE elements, but that's unlikely to ever happen. A final plus to the new Demon Horde maps is that there seemed to be no noticeable lag, which the original maps were plagued with. Other than my brief time on Vitoria, where it became incredibly framey, but this could have just been a one-off. One of the more welcome but extremely unexpected changes for us throwable fans out there, peasant weapons like the fork and hoe can now be thrown. Even weirder, the Falcons and Scythe can be tossed with the new horizontal animation. It's really fun, but incredibly janky. The odd wind-up animation seems like it was ripped from a mod instead of being created with the fluidity that the other animations have. The Falc's throw also does not do a lot of damage, but it does have piercing, meaning you can hit multiple enemies at once, and it might be time for me to become a full Falc's main. Speaking of needing a new main, quick note for the non-meta players, bear traps have been nerfed once again. Now, I'm mainly salty about this because I've been sweating traps recently in DM, abusing spawns and finding other cheeky ankle-biting spots, but I think I may have pissed off too many players as bear traps no longer work on freshly spawned enemies. After so much time, if they aren't going to bother to make combat changes people have asked for, I can't imagine why they would focus on this, especially in regards to nobles who are no longer affected by traps either. Despite this, I will say that I am on board with people who use the rat perk no longer needing to worry about their ankles, as most people don't tend to use rat anyway. And it means that at least while I'm trapping, ain't no one trapping me. As well as the weapon changes, there are a few welcomed but very late to the party quality of life changes, such as increased view distance in the smoke bomb field, oh god, a clearer fire pot area, and pans no longer clipping through the floor. My favourite quality of life change comes with the addition of new spawn banner icons, finally allowing us to know if the banner is still being built or if there is an enemy in the area preventing you from spawning. Not the biggest of changes, but very nice to actually see the cooldowns instead of frantically clicking and hoping for the best. One fairly drastic change that I'm still not completely sure about is that now the enemy spawn banners will appear on the map, so you know where they might be hiding so you can take them out. I can see why this is a good idea on the surface, but as someone who's always down for a challenge, I quite like the idea of finding a well-placed spot for my own, or trying to work out where the enemies have hidden theirs. Let me know what you think of the banner changes in the comments. Lastly, Tritonian have added a brand new DLC set known as the Banisher Weapon Pack. I get what they were going for here and understand these new skins are meant to coincide with Demon Horde, but for the local price of £8.50, I feel that these weapon skins just kind of suck. Okay, suck might be too mean, but despite there being 12 skins, they are just a bit boring, and some players, including me, have noted that they just don't really match the vibe of the game. The worst part is that I know I'm still probably going to buy this DLC, as I'm a sucker for new Mordhau content, but it would have been nice after 6 months to get something a little more in tune with what the players actually want. Devs, still waiting on that flail. Fail! Anyway, that's pretty much it for the major parts of this update. If you want to read the full patch notes, I've put a link in the description. As per usual, I don't think this update is enough to save the game, but I'll admit I was surprised there was more here than I expected. Especially as I've been told multiple times, they are pretty much down to a skeleton crew working on the game. Oh, maybe that's why it's all Demon Horde stuff. Skeletons, you know. On that note, I'll see myself out. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and drop a like down below as it really helps support the channel. Also, let me know what you thought of the latest Patchie in the comments. I'm sorry I haven't managed to post as much lately, but hopefully some new content on the way soon.
You guys
Run, Mook! Run!
So till next time, take care and keep mooking them dukes.